Acidic strength of organic compounds. First, let us see what is an acid, how to define an acid, and then different properties and examples others. Generally, till now, what we know is acidic. A compound is called as an acid if it releases a H plus ion. But in a broader way, this might be correct, but when you go to the minute details, there are some compounds which do not release the H plus ion at all, but still they also will be called as acids. That can be understood based on three theories: Arrhenius acid-base theory, Bronsted and Lowry acid-base theory, and Lewis acid-base theory. According to Arrhenius acid-base theory, an acid is a compound which furnish H plus ions when it is added to an aqueous solutions like HCl, H2SO4, HI, HBr, HNO3, H3PO4, HClO4. All these compounds, when they are added to water, they release H plus ions. Then second type of acid is Bronsted acid. Bronsted acids are any species which is an H plus ion donor. If it is releasing H plus ion, it is a Bronsted acid. And if it is releasing H plus ion in aqueous solution, then it is an Arrhenius acid. Observe the difference between them. So example H3O plus, NH4 plus, etc. Then coming to Lewis acids, these are the very different types of acids. Like Lewis acids are nothing but electron pair acceptors. Electron pair acceptors. First of all, which type of species will accept electrons? The one which are deficient of electrons, or the one which are having a vacant orbital into which they can accept the electron pair. So presence of vacant orbital is compulsory to act as a Lewis acid. Okay. And examples are like I have given some of the salts here. FeCl3 has iron has the vacant orbital. In AlCl3, aluminum has vacant orbital. In BX3, boron has the vacant orbital. All cations also will be Lewis acids. But there are some cations like NH4 plus. Exceptions are like a cation like NH4 plus is there. This is having positive charge, but still it cannot act as a Lewis acid because this positive charge is not because of any loss of electrons. It is only the formal positive charge which has developed due to the formation of dative bond. Otherwise, it does not have any electron deficiency. Nitrogen has octet configuration. So there is no vacant orbital on nitrogen to accept the electron pair. Therefore, it is not a Lewis acid. In the similar manner, H3O plus is also not a Lewis acid because it also do not have any vacant orbital. Okay, next, acidic strength or acidity. Suppose we are given with 2 or 3 compounds and asked to compare between their acidic strengths. One compound will be more acidic and another compound will be less acidic. So how to decide which compound is more acidic and which compound is less acidic is based upon this concept. First of all, acidic strength is how to define acidic strength. It is the ease of release of H plus ion. Ease means readiness, interest to release the H plus ion. Readiness in release of H plus ions or increase in H plus ion concentration in aqueous solution is acidic strength. How fast a compound will release the H plus ion will decide the acidic strength of a compound. Suppose we are taking an acid HA. This on dissolving in water will release the H plus ion. But the H plus ion will not exist in solution independently. It will be caught by water molecule and will exist as H3O plus ion. So HA after release of H plus ion will become conjugate base A minus, and H2O by accepting this H plus ion will act as a base and will form the conjugate acid H3O plus. Now if you apply law of mass action, equilibrium constant is given as the ratio of products of concentrations of products raised to the power of their stoichiometric coefficients to the concentrations of reactants raised to the power of their stoichiometric coefficients. So this ratio will give you equilibrium constant. But if you observe clearly, let us assume you have taken 1 mole acid in 1 liter water. 1 liter water means 55.55 moles. Suppose if entire 1 mole of acid also dissociating, then how much water will be reacting? 1 mole will react with 1 mole. So that leftover will be 54.55 moles. But here it is a weak acid. It will not dissociate completely. So maybe like a 0.1 moles will dissociate. If 0.1 moles is dissociating, then what will be the leftover concentration of water molecule here? 55.45 moles. That means almost the concentration of water is remaining constant. Even in strong acid also it is remaining constant. Therefore, concentration of water will be taken along with the equilibrium constant, and that is written in the form of acid dissociation constant or acid ionization constant, Ka. And now Ka is A minus concentration into H3O plus concentration divided by Ha concentration. And let us come back to this equilibrium reaction. If the equilibrium is more in a forward direction, what will happen? If the equilibrium is more in a forward direction, more of a Ha will dissociate into A minus and H3O plus. That means with increase in concentration of A minus and H3O plus, there will be decrease in concentration of Ha, and overall ratio increases. Overall ratio increase is nothing but a Ka value is increasing. So Ka value, higher Ka value indicates that reaction is more and more in forward direction. More and more in forward direction. More and more in forward direction means more and more it is releasing the H plus ion. That is what the stronger acid behavior. Yes or no? So acidic strength is directly proportional to Ka. And Ka values are like a 4.5 into 10 to the power of minus 5, 1.8 into 10 to the power of minus 6. Like this, Ka values will be there. Experimental. These are experimental values. And very difficult to compare such type of values. Therefore, what the chemists have done is these complex values, more difficult values, are converted into simple values by taking negative logarithm of Ka. That is what is called as pKa. So pKa is the negative logarithm of Ka. Okay. So as it is a negative logarithm, higher is the Ka, lower will be pKa. So for acidic strength, pKa should be lower. pKa should be lower. Then first we will see the acidic strength of inorganic acids in brief, and then we will go in detail into acidic strength of organic acids. Inorganic acids, most of the inorganic acids are generally strong acids. So they will completely dissociate, ionize, and will release H plus ions and X minus ions. As already I told you, H plus ions will be taken by H2O forming H3O plus ions. Unidirectional reaction, irreversible reaction like. And periodicity of inorganic acids along a period from left to right, if you see, like you see, I have taken the example carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, the respective hydrates of these elements. So from left to right, what happens as the central atom electronegativity increases, acidic strength also increases. In the periodic table chapter also I have explained this point. Hydra acids and oxo acids. These are hydra acids. From left to right, acidic strength increases, and third period, hydrides acidic strength also increases from left to right. And if you take from top to bottom along a group, Top to bottom, hydra acid's acidic strength increases, whereas oxo acid's acidic strength decreases. Hydra acid's acidic strength increases, whereas oxy acid's acidic strength decreases, top to bottom. Then coming to organic acids. Organic acids are generally they are weak acids. They partially only undergo dissociation, that is alpha less than 1. Ha in partial dissociation into H plus and A minus. Now, if they are partially dissociating, like alpha is definitely less than 1, but it may be 0.9, and for other acid it may be 0.8, and for some other acid it may be 0.5, and for some other acid it may be 0.1. Definitely this is a stronger acid, this is a weaker acid, yes or no? So this is the decrease in acidic strength order. But how do we know by seeing the compound whether it is dissociating to more extent or lesser extent? The degree of dissociation will give its acidic strength, but that is an experimental value. Degree of dissociation alpha will be known only by the experiment. So how do we know by seeing the molecules? How can we comment by seeing the molecules? Is one simple example, one simple concept here we have to follow is acidic strength of organic compounds is directly proportional to stability of conjugate base formed. Conjugate base is, suppose this is an acid, after release of H plus ion, the A minus formed is the conjugate base. A minus formed is the conjugate base. It is an anion. So what is the stability of anion after release of H plus ion by an acid? That we have to check. And if more is the stability of anion, more is the acidic strength of its respective compound also. And the stability of conjugate base anion depends upon following factors. One is anions negative charge can be decreased by electron withdrawing groups, like a negative inductive effect and negative mesomeric effect groups. So if negative charge of anion decreases, then stability automatically increases because charged species are unstable, less stable. Then second point, delocalization of negative charge of anion. If that electron pair of negative charge is in conjugation, then it will go into delocalization. And if it goes into delocalization, the electron density will be spread over larger surface area. Then molecule internal energy will decrease and stability increases. And if that negative charge electron pair is counted into 4n plus 2 pi electrons, that is aromatic character, then such negative charge electron pair will be in aggressive delocalization, will be in very much delocalization, that stability will much more increase. Delocalization will increase the stability, and if that delocalization is a part of aromatic character, then the stability will be much more higher. Therefore, acidic strength also will be higher. Then electronegativity of the atom from which H plus ion is released. If the electronegativity of that atom increases, stability of anion increases, automatically acidic strength of the compound also increases. Then the atom which is releasing the H plus ion, as the size of the atom releasing the H plus ion increases, the negative charge developed on it will be spread over larger surface area, therefore charge density decreases. If charge density is lesser, automatically stability is more. Then last sixth point is ortho effect. Ortho effect is a very special point. I will explain you in the coming parts. Ortho effect in ortho substituted benzoic acid will increase acidic strength. Okay na? Now point is very clear. Acidic strength of organic compounds is decided based upon the stability of its conjugate base. If conjugate base is more stable, its respective acid is also more acidic. Okay. Now for understanding, I have given one question to compare the acidic strengths of sulfonic acid, carboxylic acid, phenol, alcohol and water. Now what we have to do? We have to write their conjugate bases. After release of H plus ion, sulfonic acid after release of H plus ion will form sulfonate, alkane sulfonate. Similarly, alkane carboxylate, then phenoxide, alkoxide, hydroxide. Now let us check these conjugate base stabilities. If you take a alkane sulfonate, if you write the Lewis dot structure, one of the oxygen is carrying the negative charge. Is it that only this oxygen should carry the negative charge? No, no. This can carry negative charge. This also can carry the negative charge. So if you write the negative charge for this oxygen, we will get this structure. And if you write the negative charge for this oxygen, we will get this structure. That means for sulfonate, we are getting 3 equivalent resonance structures. And you know, the stability obtained by having equivalent resonance structures is much, much higher than the stability acquired by having non-equivalent resonance structures. Okay, na? Then next is carboxylate. Carboxylate also same concept. Here O minus, this oxygen is having the negative charge. Why not this oxygen to have the negative charge? So 2 equivalent resonance structures it got. Here 3 equivalent resonance structures are there. Here 2 equivalent resonance structures are there. More the number of resonance structures, more is the stability. So automatically SO3 R SO3 minus is more stable than RCOO minus. Okay. Next, phenoxide. In phenoxide, oxygen carrying the negative charge will try to form the bond, so that this carbon will become pentavalent from tetravalent. But becoming pentavalent is not possible, impossible for a second period element to go beyond tetravalent, because the 4 only orbitals are available in all the second period elements. So they cannot go beyond tetravalency. Maximum covalency is 4 only. So to avoid pentavalency, the pi bond will shift on to the adjacent ortho position like here. Now this negative charge will form the bond here, that this pi bond will shift on to para position like this. And this negative charge will shift here, that this pi bond will shift on to the next ortho position like this. And this negative charge will form the pi bond, that this pi bond will shift on to oxygen as this. That means the phenoxide ion negative charge is going into delocalization with a benzene ring and forming a 5 resonance structures. But if you carefully observe, these are non-equivalent resonance structures, because here and here negative charge is on outside, and in these 3 resonance structures negative charge is in the ring, and also the position difference is also there in the negative charge. So these are 5 non-equivalent resonance structures. One point you should know now, that is the stability given by non-equivalent resonance structures is lesser than the stability given by equivalent resonance structures, irrespective of the number of resonance structures. Suppose, as an example I am telling, if 10 non-equivalent resonance structures are formed for one compound, and for the similar other type of compound 2 equivalent resonance structures are possible, then the compound with the 2 equivalent resonance structures has a more resonance energy, that is a more stabilization than the compound with 10 non-equivalent resonance structures. Understanding the point? Therefore, sulfonate and carboxylate are better than phenoxide. So because sulfonate and carboxylate are stabilized by equivalent resonance structures, whereas phenoxide is stabilized by non-equivalent resonance structure. Now we are left over with alkoxide and hydroxide. Now coming to alkoxide and hydroxide, hydroxide is more stable in comparison to alkoxide, because in alkoxide there is an alkyl group which is a positive inductive effect group, which donates the electron density and will increase the negative charge to much more higher. Already having negative charge itself is a problem, and here the alkyl group is increasing the negative charge much more higher. So therefore here it gets destabilized, whereas in OH minus, hydrogen is neither positive inductive effect nor negative inductive effect group. We know hydrogen inductive effect is 0. Therefore whatever negative charge is there, that will be maintained. It may not be stabilized, but at least it is not destabilized like in alkoxide. Got it? So hydroxide is better than alkoxide. Now this is the final stability order. See, RSO3 minus more stable than RCOO minus, more stable than phenoxide, more stable than hydroxide, more stable than alkoxide. These three are resonance stabilized, among which these two are stabilized by equivalent resonance structures, and this is stabilized by non-equivalent resonance structure. This is neither stabilized nor destabilized, and this is the destabilized due to having positive inductive effect alkyl group. And if this is the stability order of the conjugate bases anions, the same itself is the acidic strength order of their respective acids. Sulfonic acid is stronger than carboxylic acid, than phenol, than water, than alcohol. Simple and interesting concept. Got it? So now, going to very important experimental data here. I have arranged the acids, the organic acids, with some inorganic acids are also there, in the decreasing order of their Ka values. Do you remember what are the Ka values? Ka values are acid dissociation constant values which indicate the acidic strength of compounds. Acidic strength of compounds is directly proportional to Ka values. The more is the Ka value, the higher is the acidic strength. That means upper compound, above compound is always more acidic than lower compound, because it is the decrease in order of Ka values. So if we observe here, Hi greater than HBr greater than HCl and then HF. But between HCl and HF, we have a set of organic acids, benzene sulfonic acid and alkane sulfonic acid. Benzene sulfonic acid is more acidic. Benzene sulfonic acid is more acidic than alkane sulfonic acid because benzene is an negative inductive effect group, which will increase the acidic strength, whereas alkane is the positive inductive effect group. Then after HF, formic acid, benzoic acid, alkanoic acid. Very important, this order is also formic acid greater than benzoic acid greater than other carboxylic acids. And now the most important point is a carbonic acid. Carbonic acid is taken as a reference for a lab test. For lab test, carbonic acid is taken as a reference. Like simply the question will be based on whether the given compound, whether the given acid is more acidic than carbonic acid or less acidic than carbonic acid. That means, is it above to H2CO3 in the decreasing order of Ka value or below to the H2CO3. Okay na? After H2CO3, NH4OH, ammonia man, then phenol, methanol, water, cyclopentadiene, then alcohol, terminal alkyne, triphenyl methane, ammonia, alkene, alkane. If you remember, acidic strength is directly proportional to Ka and inversely proportional to pKa. That means if an acid should be strong, then its pKa should be lesser. But you observe here for the alkanes, the pKa value is a 50 to 75, means very, very high pKa value. Very high pKa itself indicates that this is a very weak acid, that it is given as last. It is kept at last. Understood the point? And these acids, these compounds, alkenes and alkynes, alkenes and alkanes, do not liberate hydrogen gas with sodium metal. Up to ammonia, they on addition of sodium metal will liberate hydrogen gas. And another point is, already I told you, H2CO3 is the reference. All acids more acidic than H2CO3 will liberate carbon dioxide on adding to aqueous sodium bicarbonate solution. This test is only called as a sodium bicarbonate test. If any acid is more acidic than carbonic acid, they give brisk effervescence of carbon dioxide on adding sodium bicarbonate. Got it? Very important information. Then, based on this order, you see, I have created one question, that is this one. There are 11 compounds I have given, and these 11 compounds you have to arrange them in a decreasing order of their acidic strength. Simple point, like you see, sulfonic acids are highest in acidic strength, in the order you see, sulfonic acids are more acidic than carboxylic acids, है ना? So first you select what are sulfonic acids. These two are sulfonic acids. Between them, this is a benzene sulfonic acid, this is cycloalkane sulfonic acid. Benzene sulfonic acid is more acidic than cycloalkane sulfonic acid. So 11 greater than 2, greater than, next comes which set of compounds? Carboxylic acids, hai na? So then you select what are the carboxylic acid. This is a carboxylic acid, this is a carboxylic acid. Between them you try to arrange. Okay na? So in this manner all types of compounds you can arrange them. This is an alcohol. Then this is a terminal alkyne. This is amine, then phenol, aliphatic amine, then alkene, alkane, maybe cycloalkane, then water, benzene, sulfonic acid. So you can write it, na? Then first set of compounds we are taking is acidic strength of aliphatic carboxylic acids. Aliphatic carboxylic acids. Simply aliphatic carboxylic acid means RCOOH. R can be hydrogen, methyl, ethyl, propyl, butyl, cyclohexane, cyclopentane, like different alkyl groups can be present. So first example I have given you, see. And the point, do you remember? While solving the questions related to acidic strength, what do you have to do? You have to write their conjugate bases, that is anions, and then check their stabilities, and then write the acidic strength order. But when you practice regularly, you will directly also, by seeing the compounds, you will become able to write the answers. One point I already told you, the stability of conjugate bases will be increased by having electron withdrawing group. So here there is an electron withdrawing group. Here 2 electron withdrawing groups are there, negative inductive effect groups, minus IE group. Chlorine is a minus IE group. So 1 negative inductive effect group, 2 negative inductive effect groups are there, and here 3 negative inductive effect groups are there. More the number of negative inductive effect groups, that is electron withdrawing groups, more is the stability of conjugate base. So respectively more is the acidic strength of its acid. Therefore acidic strength will be strongest for trichloroacetic acid, then dichloroacetic acid, then monochloroacetic acid, and then unsubstituted acetic acid. Okay. Then next you see fluorine. Fluorine is also negative inductive effect group. But this negative inductive effect group, the nearer it is to the COOH, the more will be its impact on COOH. So if the more is the impact on COOH, higher will be the acidic strength. But what is happening here? Fluorine came far and much far here. The far the negative inductive effect group comes, the lesser will be the acidic strength order. So negative inductive effect groups or electron withdrawing group should be nearer. So this is the order. So in this manner, you try to write the acidic strength order for the other examples. Okay na? Now this also for your practice. For some of the compounds I have given pKa values also, you see in the brackets whatever I have given, they are all the pKa values. So if you are having any doubt, you can use the pKa values also. pKa inversely proportional to acidic strength. Okay na? So you try to write them, and if you are having any doubt, you can ask me by mentioning the question number. This 10th question also for you to practice. And then important information, you see, experimental data it is. Experimental data it is H2CO3, that is carbonic acid. I told you now, this is taken as a reference. H2CO, that compound only. H2CO3 is more acidic than pentane 1,3-dione, which is more acidic than hydrocyanic acid, commonly called as hydrogen cyanide also. More acidic than ammonium and more acidic than phenol. Experimental values, you have to by heart them, you have to remember them. Okay. Then squaric acid is more acidic than phenol, which is almost equal in acidic strength to the methane thiol. What is squaric acid, right? Squaric acid is this one. You will take a square, double bond O, double bond O, double bond in the ring, OH, OH. So basically it is a dibasic acid. Okay, na? 2 H plus ions can be released by one molecule. The next one is alkyne, triphenyl methane, ammonia and toluene. Then alcohol, more acidic than acetone, more acidic than chloroform, than terminal alkyne. Okay. So we'll stop it here, and the remaining examples will continue in the second part of acidic strength of compounds. Okay, take care.